Hello, sports fans and baseball fans. It's me, Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, and today I am here with another episode of Mismatch Monday. And today it will be the 2017 New York Yankees, who were 91-71 and second place in the AL East, taking on the 1988 Baltimore Orioles, who were 54-107. So, same deal as I usually have with my Mismatch Monday, and I think everything is ready to go. So let's get going with this. I will do the lineups as I come to them, and in that vein, we've got the, and I got to write in the 1988 Orioles here. And we are playing in Memorial Stadium because Camden Yards did not come about until 1991 or 92, I think. So the singles for lefties will be a 1-2, and for righties 1-8. Home run for lefties will be 1-19, and for righties 1-13. And the lineup is right here. And the pitcher for the Yankees will be the pitcher for the Orioles, who will be in the field first, will be Jose Bautista. And the lineup he will face will be Brett Gardner leading off and playing left field, Aaron Hicks playing center field and batting second, Aaron Judge in right field batting third, Gary Sanchez will be the catcher and bat in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth will be Todd Frazier playing third base. Starlin Castro will be the DH batting sixth. Batting seventh will be Didi Gregorius at shortstop. Chase Headley will be the first baseman today, batting eighth. And Ronald Torreyes will bat ninth and be the second baseman. And so we will get on with that. You can see the cards. You'll be able to see the dice. You'll be able to see my score sheet. I think everything is good to go for this. So let's go with Brett Gardner batting first. And of course the dice had to go off the sheet. It is going to be a 6-12 though. And that will be a ground ball to first base. So that's going to be a 3, and he's out. One down, and we're going to Aaron Hicks. He's the second batter. And of course, they're going off the dice, they're off the sheet, so that's just going to happen. 2-6 is going to be a walk. And so you've got a man aboard, Hicks, and a walk by Bautista, his first of the game, which brings up the judge. Here comes the judge. Aaron Judge will bat against Bautista with 1 down and 1 on. And that is going to be a 110, and a 110 against a righty is going to be a double. So Hicks can go at least a third, and we'll see if we want Hicks going to try to score. He is a running 1-14. I would say with no outs and this powerful Yankee lineup, we're just going to let them hit. That is a 6-5 for him. He is a righty, and that is going to be a pop out to second. It might have been a bad idea. So, pop out to 4. And there are 2 down with Frazier up. And hopefully the entire scorebook stays in the frame. Hoping that happens. But you got Todd Frazier up next. And he is going to get a 2-5. I can do it like that, and that'll work, and that's going to be a strikeout. So I guess it was a bad idea not to send Hicks on that hit by Judge, that double by Judge. But, you know, I'm sure the Yankees will have other chances to score. So we're going to put the Orioles lineup out there, and their pitcher is going to be CC Sabathia for the Yankees. And we will go over the lineup for the Orioles. They'll lead off with Brady Anderson, the center fielder. Cal Ripken, the shortstop, will bat second. Eddie Murray, the first baseman, bats third. Mickey Tettleton, the Fruit Loop man, will bat in the cleanup spot at catcher. Super Joe Orsulak will bat fifth and be the right fielder. Larry Sheets will be in left and bat sixth. Rick Shue will be the third baseman, batting seventh. Batting eighth will be Ripken's brother. Forget his name. But he'll play second base, and then Pete Stanisic will bat in the ninth spot and play left field. And they're all against Sabathia. So let's see what that gives us. It's a 1-9 against a lefty, and that's going to be a fly to center. So he's out. And that brings up Cal Ripken with one down. He gets a 3-12. 3-12 against a lefty is going to be a ballpark home run, and he just misses it. It's going to be instead a fly out to left field because he is a right-handed batter. So there's two down quickly for the Orioles, which brings up Eddie Murray, their first baseman, very good hitter, always has been. And 2-7 against a lefty is going to be a walk. So he gets a board, and that is a walk for Sabathia that he allows. And there are two down and one on base for Mickey Tettleton, the Fruit Loop man. He gets a 6-9. And against a lefty, he would bat right. So that would be a fly ball to left. And the Orioles also get nothing in the first inning. Though they did have a good lineup. That was a pretty good lineup that they sent up in the first inning. But they came away with no runs, which will bring up Starlin Castro batting against Jose Bautista. Okay, and let's see. We got Castro. We're looking at him 2-5 against a righty. Is going to be a fly to left. So that's one down quickly. Bringing up Chase Headley, the first baseman today. And he gets a 3-11. 3-11 against a righty is going to be a, let's see, he would be batting left. And he just misses getting a ballpark single. So he does not. And so, let's see, 3-11. So yeah, that'll be a line out to second base. And there are two down quickly again for the Yankees. And Ronald Torreyes is up. And he gets a 4-8 batting right. That's going to be a walk. So wait. Oh, hold on. That was supposed to be Headley. Starling, I skipped Gregorius. In fact, I don't even have Gregorius. All right, to fix that mistake, we're just going to assume that Gregorius did what I said Headley did and lined out to second. And then we're going to go on to Headley. And he gets a 412. 412 batting, he would be batting left, and that would be a ground ball to the pitcher, 1-3. So, sorry for the mistake there. Yankees, it's human error. It happens in this game a lot when you play games and you record them, and I'm not going to bother to re-record it and go back. So, 3 outs for the Yankees, and the Orioles will come to bat against Sabathia. And hopefully I didn't make the same mistake with the lineup with the Orioles. Orsolak is up, and it looks like that is the case. He gets a 310 batting left, and that's going to be a fly to center. Brings up Larry Sheets. And that is a 5-11 batting left, and that is going to be a fly ball to right field. So 2 down on 2 quick flyouts for the Birds. And that brings up Rick Shue, the third baseman. And he gets a 1-4 batting against a lefty, and that's going to be a ground ball to third base. So he goes out 5-3. No runs come in for them. We're going to the top of the third inning. And the Yankees coming to bat against Bautista, who has held the Yankees so far to no runs. Ronald Torreyes is the batter for the Yankees. He gets a 4-7 batting right. And that's going to be a ground ball second base X. First time I have had to refer to the X charts, and now I've realized that I don't have my X charts. So anyway, I have to go get that. All right, I found my chart, and the ground ball to second resulted in an out. So Torreyes is out 4-3. And that brings up Brett Gardner. Back to the top of the order for the Yankees. He gets a 5-7. And that is a ground ball to the shortstop, X. He is a 2E21, and that is a 12. So let's see. So that's going to be on the E rating. So we're going to have to look at the 12, roll the 2 dice and look at the 12. And that is a 5. And 5 is going to be a ground ball double play, or just a ground ball. So he's out 6-3, and there's 2 down for the Yankees with Aaron Hicks up. And he gets a 3-8 against a righty, and that's going to be a strikeout. So, Bautista allows, first of all, I got to record the hit that he allowed, and he does strike out a guy. And in fact, that is his second strikeout. He struck out 2. And the Yankees get nothing in the third. So we're going to the bottom of the third inning. And Billy Ripken, that's what I forgot his first name. It's Billy Ripken, facing CC Sabathia here in the bottom of the third inning. And that is exactly what I've got. And 2-7 against the lefty. is going to be a walk. So Billy Ripken leads off and gets a walk here in the third. Sabathia with his second walk allowed. Pete Stanisic is the batter. It's a switch hitter, so he's batting right against Sabathia. That is a 6-5, and that's going to be a strikeout. First strikeout for Sabathia. And Ripken's still at first, and Brady Anderson is the batter. He gets a 6-8, and that is going to be a ground ball to the second baseman for the Yankees. That is a 2-8, and that's a 4, and we've already established that that is an out. And let's see, 4, that is a ground ball, that is a ground ball A, I believe. 4 and a second base. No, it's a ground ball C. Oh, wait, no, that was shortstop. No, it is. It's a ground ball A. So that is a double play. So that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play on Anderson. And no runs come in the third. We go to the top of the fourth. And as they say, here comes the judge in the top of the fourth, facing Jose Bautista, who has pitched really well so far. And that is a 1-9 for Judge, and that is going to be a home run. That's just a plain home run right there. So Bautista gives up his first run. He had to know that would be coming pretty soon. And that brings up another home run hitter in 2017, Sanchez. He's, you know, he's gone a little bit south since then, but he gets a 5-6, and that is going to be a double. So now Bautista's really just kind of falling apart here. And Todd Frazier is up. The Todd father gets a 6-2, and that is going to be a hit by pitch. It's plus injury, but we're going to ignore injuries in a one-off game that we're just playing. So he gets on first with a hit by pitch. Bautista hitting the batter. The Yankees have 2 men on with nobody out. They've already scored a run on a home run by Judge, and Starlin Castro is up. He gets a 5-4, and that is going to be a home run for Starlin Castro. So that's a 3-run shot right there. And now Bautista has just completely fallen apart here in the fourth inning. And he's hoping with a clean slate here and nobody on base to get out of this mess. And here is Gregorius. So Gregorius is batting. He gets a 3-3, and that's going to be a strikeout. That's the first out. Bautista recording his third strikeout of the game. Chase Headley is up. He is going to get a 3-8. 3-8 batting left would be a double. So it's just really, Bautista is, he's given up the greatest hits. And Ronald Torreyes is up with Headley at second and only one out. And that is a 3-3. 3-3 against the righty is a ground ball first base C. That will move Headley over to third. But it's a 5-3. And there's 2 down. And back to the top of the order with Brett Gardner. And he gets a 2-7 against a righty, and that is going to be a single and not going to run. Now, if you know me, I generally don't take pitchers out during an inning, so we're just going to let Bautista at least ride this one out. Aaron Hicks is up. And that is a 2-5, and a 2-5 against the righty is going to be a fly to left field. So he finally does get out of it. But not before the Yankees get 5 runs of their own and take a 5-0 lead. So let me see, where did I put everybody? Because I need to find out. Oh, here we go. All right, so Sabathia is back out there, obviously. He's not pitching badly at all, unlike Bautista. And I believe Cal Ripken is the batter. Yes, he is. Cal Ripken is the batter here against CC Sabathia. And that is going to be a 1-7 against the lefty, and that is going to be a single. So Ripken gets a single here in the 4th. Hopefully he can start out something for the Baltimore Orioles with Eddie Murray up. He gets a 3-6 against the lefty. That is going to be a double. And since the Orioles need runs, we're going to stop Ripken at third base. There are 2 runners at second and third with nobody out and Tettleton up. Oh, God, okay, let's just re-roll that. That is a 5-5, and he is batting right, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Sabathia with his second strikeout. And that's the first out of the inning with Orsulak, Super Joe Orsulak up. He is going to get a 6-4, and that is going to be a fly ball to center field. The center fielder is a 2. That is a 5. So let's see. That's going to be a fly ball B and score the runner from third, which is Cal Ripken. And Sheets is the batter. And he gets a 6-7, and that's going to be a single. And that will move Eddie Murray over to third. And we are not going to press the issue and try to score him because they need runs. And they need base runners and runs, and Shue is up. Rick Shue gets a 2-8 against the lefty, and that is going to be a fly ball to left field. Again, I apologize if you can't see the dice. I mean, there's only so much I can control in the game here, in the presentation. So I try to show you everything I can show you, but if you don't see the dice roll, you don't see the dice roll. Anyway, the Orioles do get a run, and it's 5-1 going to the top of the 5th inning. So we'll take the Orioles lineup back out. We will put the Yankees lineup back out there on the main stream there, and we got to get another pitcher for the Orioles. And that is going to be Doug Sisk. So Doug Sisk is the new Orioles pitcher. Let me see, does that show everything? I think that does still show everything. So Doug Sisk coming in. Bautista only pitched 4 innings, and they were 4 very bad innings. And so Aaron Judge is the batter. And he gets a 2-9 against a righty, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Sisk leading off well for the Orioles with a strikeout. And Gary Sanchez is the batter. That is a 1-5. 1-5 against a righty is going to be a strikeout. So Sisk strikes out the second man he faces as well. And the Todd father's up. Todd Frazier. And he gets a 3-7 against a righty. And that is a strikeout. He strikes out the side, Sisk does. So the Yankees get nothing in the 5th. They go down on 3 straight strikeouts. And that will bring up, I believe, Billy Ripken for the Orioles. And he's batting against, of course, still CC Sabathia, who has a pretty sizable lead here. So we're going to see what Billy Ripken can do. That is a 4-7. For a right-handed batter, and that's going to be a fly to center field. Brings up Pete Stanisiak. He gets a 6-8. 6-8 batting right would be what he would be doing. Second base X, that is a 9. He is a 2. And that is going to be, so he's a second base E8. So we have to roll on the chart to get the E rating. 8 at second base that is a roll of 3. And that's going to be an E1. So there is an error on the second baseman. Yeah, Stanisiak is on by an E4. Maybe that can open the door for the Orioles. We're back to the top of their lineup with Brady Anderson. And he gets a 2-3 against a lefty. That is going to be a hit by pitch. So they have 2 runners on. Stanisiak goes down to second. And Anderson is at first. Which brings up Cal Ripken Jr. That's what you want to see. And that is a 3-10 against the lefty, and that's going to be a fly to center. So that's 2 down. Which brings up Eddie Murray. And Eddie Murray maybe even more so you would want to see than Cal Ripken in this spot. That is a 2-6 against the lefty. That is a single, and it's only a one-base single, but it doesn't matter. I wouldn't have sent him anyway because, like I said, they need runs. So their batter is Mickey Tettleton, switch-hitting catcher Mickey Tettleton. He gets a 1-8 against a lefty, and that is going to be a home run. It's a 3-run home run for Tettleton. No, it's a 4-run home run. That's going to be a tie game. Because Stanisic got on by an error. Anderson was hit by a pitch. Then there was a fly out. Then there was a single that loaded the bases. And then the grand slam by Tettleton. So it's going to be 5-5 here. And Super Joe Orsulak is the batter. And now Sabathia is not in the good situation that he was before. Let's see, he's given up. I'm behind on his hits. 1, 2, 3. He's given up 3 hits. But he's also hit a batter and walked. That might be, walks might be up to date. He's walked 2, yeah. And he's given up 5 runs. So it is tied at 5, and I don't think I rolled for Orsulak yet. That is a 5-9 for a lefty, and that's going to be a strikeout. And that'll end the inning for the Orioles, but not before they tie the game. With 4 runs in the 5th inning, we're going to the top of the 6th. And now we have to question whether Sabathia will go on in this game, but that's a question for the next inning. As we come back with Starlin Castro, the batter, for the Yankees here in the top of the 6th. He gets a 1-6 against a righty, and that's going to be a single. Sisk allows his first base runner on a base hit by Castro, which brings up Gregorius. And he gets a 6-8 batting left, and that's going to be a fly to right field. Chase Headley is up with 1 out and 1 on. He gets a 4-7. He would be batting left, and that is a single double asterisk and moves the runner over to third. Sisk allowing his second hit, which brings up Ronald Torreyes. He gets a 5-5. He's batting right. That is a walk that loads the bases. So only 1 out and the bases are loaded here. And Brett Gardner is the batter. And he gets a 3-8. 3-8 for him is going to be a fly ball center field B with a question mark, which means we can send the runner that's on third. That's Castro. And Castro is running a 1-12, so they're not going to send him. And they're just going to go with the next guy. And that is Aaron Hicks. And he gets a 6-10. He would be batting left. And that's a catcher card X That the catcher is a 3-E2. That is a 16. Pass ball and a pop out. So a run did score. Castro did end up coming in, but then there was a pop out that ends the inning. So let's get that squared away. But the Yankees take the lead again by the score of 6-5. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Larry Sheets would be the batter, I believe. Yes, he would. And again, the question of whether we're going to go with Sabathia or not. We're going to send Sabathia back out there. Sabathia goes back out for the bottom of the 6th with Larry Sheets up. 2-8 against the lefty, and that's going to be a strikeout. Sabathia with the K. And Rick Shue is the batter. He gets a 6-5 batting right. That's going to be a strikeout. So Sabathia bouncing back here after a very bad 5th inning. And Billy Ripken is the batter. And he gets a 1-3, and that's going to be a single to left field. So Bill Ripken gets a single. Another hit allowed by Sabathia, only the fourth hit, but he's hit batters and given up a home run to the Fruit Loop man. And so Pete Stanisek is the batter with 2 down and Billy Ripken at first. He gets a 2-8 against the lefty, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop. And no runs come in. We go to the top of the 7th. Top of the 7th with the Yankees batting and with the lead by the score of 6-5 against this bad Orioles team. They're holding out. They're showing up really well. Aaron Judge, I believe, would be the batter, and we are going to send Sisk back out there. He did have a rocky 6th inning, kind of. I mean, he gave up a run, and he gave up some base runners. But we're going to see what he can do. Aaron Judge is the batter here in the top of the 7th. He gets a 6-4, and 6-4 is going to be a single. So Aaron Judge gets a hit. It's a ballpark single. Sisk allowing that. Gary Sanchez is up. That is a 4-2 for a righty. That's going to be a fly to center field. Todd Frazier is the batter. He gets a 5-6. 5-6 is going to be a fly ball to left field. So there's 2 down quickly after the leadoff single by Aaron Judge, which brings up Starlin Castro, who was a very good hitter. And he gets a 2-9 against a righty, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Sisk strikes his 4th man out. The Yankees get nothing in the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. And that will be the top of the order as well for the Orioles. Brady Anderson leading off. And CC Sabathia, I think we're going to send CC Sabathia out there again. Brady Anderson is the batter. And he gets a 5-9 batting left, and that's going to be a strikeout. Right between 2 things, but he is out. So Sabathia strikes out what I've got as his 4th straight guy. And Cal Ripken, or is that right? No, it isn't actually. But anyway, Cal Ripken is the batter. He gets a 5-9 batting right, and that is a strikeout. So Sabathia now, all of a sudden, he's found his second wind and is shutting the Orioles right down. With Eddie Murray up next. And he gets a 2-5, which is going to be a single. Murray gets a hit, Sabathia allowing his 5th hit, which brings up Tettleton, the Fruit Loop man, the guy who hit a grand slam earlier in the game. Can he do the same? Can he hit a home run here? It's a 1-3. He would be batting right, and that would be a ground ball to the pitcher. He does not do that. So the Orioles get nothing in the 7th. We go to the top of the 8th inning. And Sisk will have to come out. He's pitched 3 innings. That's about his limit. And they will bring in Tom Niedenfuer. Tom Niedenfuer on the pitch. And Gregorius will be the batter I've got is for the Yankees. Yep, that would be Gregorius. Batting against Niedenfuer. That is a 5-11. Lefty is going to be an out. That is going to be a line out to second base. It was a ballpark single, but it did not fall in the range because I think it was on 19 before. So when I rolled it, Headley is the batter after Gregorius got out. That is a 4-3. He would be batting left. So that is going to be, that's a single. Now that is a ballpark single. Niedenfuer gives up his first hit. First runner aboard, and it's Headley with Ronald Torreyes up. And he gets a 5-3, batting right. That is a fly ball to right. The right fielder for the O's is a 3-9. That is a 20. So 20 and a 3 is a fly ball B. So he flies out to right. There's 2 down with a man aboard for the Yankees. And back to the top of the order with Brett Gardner. And he gets a 4-7. And that is a ground ball to short. He is a 2E21, and that is a 6. Probably an out. And it is. So the Yankees go quickly there, pretty quickly. They did get a man on board, but they did get no runs as well. And the Orioles are coming back up with Super Joe Orsulak as the batter. And there will be a new pitcher now for the Yankees. We will take Sabathia out of the game. And we will find a new pitcher for the Yankees. And that will be Adam Warren. Adam Warren in 2017 was 3-2 with a 235 earned run average in in how many innings? In 57 innings pitched, yes. So Sabathia completed 7 innings. And Adam Warren comes in. He's facing Super Joe Orsulak. That is a 6-5 for a lefty. That's going to be a strikeout. Brings up Larry Sheets. He gets a 6-4 for a lefty, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop. Their shortstop is a 1E12. And that's a 4. I'm going to guess that's definitely an out, and it is. And that brings up Rick Shue. And he gets a 5-6 for a righty, and that's going to be a line out to third base. And the Orioles get no runs in the 8th. They're going to have to rely on the 9th, but they got to hope they don't even give up any more runs either here, because they're going to need runs. They're going to need runs, and they're going to need to be able to not give up anymore. And the pitcher is Niedenfear, right? All right, so Niedenfear, there's Niedenfear. And where's the Yankee lineup? Let me grab the Yankee lineup. And that should lead off with Aaron Hicks. That's what I've got, and that is exactly what the situation will be. Aaron Hicks against Niedenfear. And that is a 5-7. He would be batting left. And that's a ground ball to second. The second baseman for the Orioles is a 2E13. That is a 15, probably an out. And it is. So he goes out, Hicks goes out 4-3 in the 9th to lead off the 9th. Let me move these up. I think move them up, right? I think you can see. Can you see it? Okay. I guess you can see it better now. So Aaron Judge is up. He gets a 4-4 batting right, and that is a ground ball third base. Third base is Shue. He is a 4E27. That's a 6. That's going to be on the E27, and I'm going to guess it'll probably be an error. It's a 7. And that is going to be an error. It's a one-base error by Rick Shue. So he's on by an E5. Aaron Judge is, which brings up Gary Sanchez. He gets a 5-3 batting right. That is going to be a fly to right. The right fielder is a 3E9. That is a 17. I'm going to guess that's an out too. That is a fly ball A, which moves the runner up to second. And Todd Frazier, the Todd father, is up with 2 down and a man at second base. He gets a 1-7 against a righty. That is a walk. So he's going to fill in first base. And Niedenfear gives up a walk. Now there's 2 runners on, 2 out for Starlin Castro. And he gets a 2-10 against a righty, and that is a ground ball pitcher B. The Yankees get no runs. It's up to the Orioles. They only need a run here in the bottom of the 9th. Bill Ripken, though, is going to be the batter. We will see if there is any pinch hitters that are available that might be better. So let's see. And Adam Warren is a right-handed pitcher. Yeah, they're going to pinch hit Terry Kennedy. And we'll make a note of that. Kennedy pinch hit in the 9th. For Bill Ripken. Adam Warren out there and Terry Kennedy up. He gets a 311. 311 is going to be a line out to the, wait a minute. Yeah, line out to the shortstop. Pete Stanisiak is the batter. They will look for a pinch hitter for him. Although this is the Orioles, I don't know how many possible guys they have that could still be good hitters. You know, they're going to go with Craig Worthington. He has a lot of power. He doesn't hit for average. But if he can pop one out, he can pop one out. All right, so there's Craig Worthington. Got an automatic home run against righties. But that's a 412, and that is going to be a fly ball left field C. Which leaves everything up to Brady Anderson, which we are not pinch hitting for. And he gets a 2-7 against a righty, and that is going to be a strikeout, and that ends the game as the 1988 Orioles fall to the New York Yankees of 2017 by the score of only 6-5. So they gave it a good try, but that is it. The Orioles lose, and that's it for me. Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, signing off.